For thousands of years, this what if has gone slump. It's been in a slumber that no one could wake up. But on this very day, Aizawa, after 3 long months, I think, records another episode of Hashirama. Or part, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. But this is, I'm pretty sure part 5. Yeah, I think part 5. This is part 5 of What If Deku was Hashirama. And, this is gonna have, like, the internships and stuff. But I'm gonna make it longer because, this one's been gone for a while. And from what I remember, alright, after watching my old video of Hashirama, it took me, like, 5 times to record that episode. And I remember why. I even remember I recorded all the way to the internships on my first one. But then I had to cut it to the sports festival because I was legitimately losing my mind and voice. But yeah, now you're gonna get part 5 of Hashirama. Alright, I'm gonna do what am I gonna do? Alright, so first off, I'm gonna record this and then I'm gonna record the part 6, hopefully ending it there if I can. I'm gonna try to. Actually, no, I won't try to. I'm gonna get through every arc, I gotta do that for you guys. But, I'm gonna do the, what is it called? The summer training camp. I'm gonna do that. Also, the fight with the teachers and yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. So I'm gonna do all that. It's gonna be a long one. I can already tell. But hey, it's me and you guys, right? We got this together. We are the squad, alright? So, last time I ended this off, Deku had just asked out Nejire after defeating Shinso, Madara's reincarnation, by the way, in a battle of, battles. It was badass. Really, it was kind of impressive. The crowd went wild. Deku, he probably has so many internships, he won't even know what to do with them. But, like I said my first time recording the other episode, he's gonna go with Kamui Woods, because that just makes the most sense. Yeah, but, Deku, I'm trying to think here. What would Deku do? Yeah, alright. Deku, he walks back in class. He's very tired still, even though he had a week of, time off, just like everyone else. So he walks in, and then everybody's like, oh, hey, yada, yada. They talk to him. Deku's like, hey, guys, what's up? With a Hashirama smile. Sorry, I'm just eating like a piece of candy. Alright. I think I'm done with the candy. Alright. So yeah. He walks in there and everybody's like, hey, yo, it's Deku. Deku, what's up, man? How are you doing? Are you feeling better? Yada, yada, yada. Deku's like, yeah, I'm feeling way better, guys. Thanks for asking. Thanks for worrying about me. He's just radiating this form of happiness that no one understands how he does it, but he does. And, everybody's like, yeah, we were worried about you, yada, yada, yada. Deku's like, thanks, I'm happy that we all got through the sports festival safe and sound and stuff like that. And now Aizawa walks in, he's like, alright, everybody, shut up. And then, everybody does. Like, listen here, alright, we're gonna have internships and hero names. So, yeah. Get your names ready, and good luck. So, everybody starts going up and doing their name. Oh, yeah, also, Shinso and Kendo are in the class, if you don't know. Shinso was pulled in, and I didn't feel like removing anyone, so I just added Kendo. That way the class was still even, but with 22 people instead of, 20. And if you're saying, you can't do that, guess what I did, alright? So now, what were they gonna say? What was I gonna say? So now, Shinso he walks up there. He's like, everybody's like, I wonder what his hero name's gonna be. Like, and, basically, Madara Uchiha. Bam. That's it. Madara. Hashirama was like, I was gonna ask you to do that too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what, you were gonna ask me to change my name to Madara? Like, no, I was gonna ask you to change your name to my name on the hero exam. At least let me live on, man. That's what I was gonna say. And what's it called? Shinso, he's like, and then they're like, Madara Uchiha? And like, what is that? He's like, that's like my sensei's name. And, he passed away a long, long time ago. They're like, oh, okay, we're sorry, yada, yada, yada. And then, basically Deku's like, damn it, he took my excuse. And then, he's like, well, why don't you just say I'm still alive? He's like, okay, so what? How are they gonna meet you? He's like, wood clones. I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. But, Deku walks up there. He's like, he puts Hashirama, Senju, and then Hashirama's like, wait, before you show them, add something else. He's like, do I really gotta add this? They're not gonna get it. He's like, trust me, just add it. Right? It gives you a more badass flair. He puts it there, and then, Deku shows it, and they're like, Hashirama Senju, the god of shinobi? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, why the god of shinobi? He's like, my master is a shinobi, and he at one point was considered the god of shinobi, and I'm his successor, so I guess I'm the new god of shinobi. And they're like, who's your master? He's like, Hashirama Senju. Kind of like how Shinso did. And they're like, he's like, Shinso is the one who asks, like, is he still alive? Yada, yada, yada. Deku says, yes, actually. Shinso, confusion. He's like, oh, okay. And everybody's like, can we meet him? Yada, yada, yada. Deku's like, yeah, maybe one day, but, not today. So now they're like, alright, now that you guys have your hero names, everybody else goes with the same shit. Everybody goes with the same shit, and now they're like, alright, now for your internships, Deku gets his paper, so does Shinso, and they have the most of fucking course they do. What's it called? Shinso actually is like, who should I sign with? And then, Madara's like, isn't that Endeavor guy, like, the number 2 hero? And Shinso's like, yeah, but why would I join him? He's like, he has basic fire abilities. We could probably maybe learn something, I don't know, or just train our fire ability just to get better with it. And Shinso's like, alright, and if you're wondering, yes, Endeavor did give Shinso a thing, and if you're wondering why, that's because Shinso freaking has fire style. He used a fireball jutsu. The Susanoo is basically fire. Which, yes, it is fire, I'm pretty sure. It's like chakra flames, but like, it's different. Susanoo is just a weird type of fire. Alright. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, Deku, he's like, this only makes sense. He's like, everybody's like, who are you signing with, Deku tells him, yeah, I'm gonna sign with Kamui Woods, Basically, Kendo walks over to Shinso and she's like, who are you gonna sign with? He says, yeah, I'm signing with, Endeavor, Shoto hears this, he's like, same here. And then, Shinso's like, alright, I guess we're gonna be walking the same way then. And, he's like, who are you signing with, Kendo? Kendo tells him, yeah, I'm signing with, we're gonna say, didn't she sign with Mount Lady originally, and Mount Lady didn't really do shit for her? I thought. No, she signed with that snake lady. The snake lady with Momo. They both signed with her, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna sign with her. He's like, alright. Good luck with that. Basically Deku, when Kendo walks away, Deku slides over to Shinso and he's like, oh, who's that? Like you know her? Shinso's like, yeah, I've talked to her a few times. Deku's like, come on, man, is she your friend or something? You're like, I guess you can call her that. More of an acquaintance, really. Deku's like, don't be cold, man, come on. I know the truth, come on. Like, what is she, man? Come on. You know, Shinso's like, I don't get what you're asking. She's like, come on, I saw you think you're slick. Alright. Your Sharingan eyes aren't the only thing that see everything, alright? I saw you looking at her. Like, excuse me? Like, I saw you, alright? If you had the Byakugan, you'd be trying to see through something, and I'd be like, And then Shinso's like, are you accusing me of, you like, yes, I am. I really am. Shinso's like, I didn't, first off. Second off, I don't even know her like that, Like, Deku's like, bullcrap, alright? I remember you were knocked out and she was there sitting next to you. So, like, tell me, how do you know her? He was like, she might have been an old friend from, my childhood, which I'm gonna add that in, because why not, He's like, oh, a childhood friend, like, he's freaking hitting Shinso with his elbow. Basically, Kaminari and, like, a few of the, like, Kaminari and Sero and Kirishima are kind of seeing what Deku's trying to do, and they're like, let's join in there, they're also egging Shinso on, and, basically, what's it called? After that, as I was like, alright, get the hell out of my class, Shinso gladly obliges and body flickers out. And, Deku's like, I can't believe him. And then Shinso comes back. He's like, I forgot that, you're going the same place as me. So he grabs his Shoto, and they go the same way. Deku's like, well, I'll see you guys later, And then he goes off to work with Kamui Woods. So, basically, Deku, he isn't in the area of Hosu, I'm gonna say. Just because, it's overkill for Stain if Madara and Hashirama are in the same area. So, basically, Deku is just... Honestly, it's more like Deku is training Kamui Woods than Kamui Woods is training Deku. Basically, Deku's like, yeah, your quirk relies on trees, but you should probably, like, get to understand why, trees do what they do and what makes trees better, what trees' weaknesses are. He's like, yeah, I do that for the most part. He's like, no, but like, have you ever just sat down and just meditated, like, behind a tree or next to a tree or something? Kamui Wood's like, nah, I never really been into that meditation crap, He's like, yeah, you should get into it. It'll help you out, man. And, Kamui Woods takes the advice because, he's not a dumbass. So he takes the advice, and, Deku's like, yeah, well, we're just gonna do this. And, Deku goes out on patrol a few times. But we're gonna follow Shinso, because that's basically our other main character of this story. So, Shinso, he's walking around with Endeavor and Todoroki, and, he senses something. He senses 2 chakra signatures, because everyone has chakra. It's the life force of all, but just, they don't have, like, really chakra coils to where they can control their chakra. It's more like their chakra just, like, comes out of them, like unnaturally, to where, like, it's just, we're gonna just say that their chakra coils are focused on their quirk gene, alright? So, like, their chakra coils, like, let's say, for Ida, his chakra coils are all, like, leading into his engines and stuff like that. While, Todoroki, his chakra coils are, like, all around his body, just like every normal shinobi, but mostly around, like, his feet area and his hands area, because, he can make ice with his feet and make fire with his feet, and make ice with his hands and make fire with his hands, basic stuff like that. And then after that, we're gonna say, Shinso's like, I have to go do something. He runs off. Endeavor's like, what the hell are you doing? We got people to save. He's like, I'm going to go save someone. Like, that's what he says. He runs off. So, Stain is like, I'm gonna get rid of you, you dim, he's like, I'm gonna get rid of you now, you brat. He goes to stab, what's it called? Ida, of course, because, you know who he's after. After that, Ida is basically like, I'll kill you for killing my brother. He was a true hero, you bastard, And then right after that, Shinso pops up, he throws a kunai. Stain dodges it. Shinso just rushes Stain. Stain's like, who the hell are you? And Shinso's like, shut up. Because, Shinso still has the same quirk, I'll say. Because it would be weird for Shinso to just be like, since, I'm the reincarnation. I lose my quirk gene. Which, it isn't. We're just gonna say his quirk was always just a form of genjutsu. Because, plot. So, after Stain talks to Shinso for a little bit. Because he's like, I've seen you on the sports festival, Then Shinso's like, then you should know that you're gonna die if you try fighting me. Basically Stain's like, that doesn't sound very heroic. And Shinso's like, I don't really give a shit. He kicks Stain back, right? And Stain's like, wow, you're worrying about me over the injured. You truly are not a hero. And, Shinso's like, look again, idiot. He looks over to Ida and what's it called? Native. He looks over to Ida and Native, and, they basically poof into a log, and, he's like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, I already had shadow clones the moment I kicked you, grab them and go. So he's like, maybe you are a true hero after all. Shinso's like, you're a weirdo. So he goes and fights Stain, and then, he kicks Stain's ass, understandably. He drags Stain out of the alleyway, and, basically Endeavor's like, what the hell? Who is that? He's like, this is a hero killer Stain. He's like, but he doesn't match the description. He's like, just because he has bruises doesn't mean he doesn't match the description, And he's like, oh, so he beat Stain into a different look. That's what he did. So after that, they take Stain. He still gets scolded by the police officer, but he isn't in the hospital. Only Ida is, and Ida does get scolded. Deku, basically, he doesn't hear about it because, of course, it's kept secret that, 2 students beat Stain and the thing's given to Endeavor. But, but Deku is told about, Ida's brother being hurt. And, Madara is like, I already know that you know what I'm asking you to do. So just do it, Deku's like, I mean, I could, but, are you sure? People are gonna ask a lot of questions. Yeah, I know. Just fucking do it. So, Deku walks over to Ida after the internships are finally done. And he's like, can you take me to your brother next time, when class ends? He's like, why? He's like, I think that maybe I could possibly, assist him. Ida's like, alright, but it's basically useless. So, they walk over, they go, and, now Deku is standing there in front of, Ingenium, the turbo hero. And then, what's it called? After that, Deku just says, alright, so stand back a little bit. His hands start glowing green. Basically, he does this over, I forgot what I'm just gonna say Ingenium's body the whole time. So he just does this over Ingenium's body, and, he's like, I'll have to cut in. And, basically, he puts out 2 fingers, and they become, blue. He cuts open, the area where Stain injured him. I'm pretty sure it's, his spine area. So, Ingenium is on his back. Basically actual doctors are there so that, if Deku fucks up, they can just, be like, what the fuck did you do? They're about to run in, but, Deku's just, using his healing no jutsu to heal Ingenium slowly but surely. Finally, he closes up the wound, ties it up, And if you're wondering, how does Hashirama know all this, alright? Remember who his goddamn granddaughter is, alright? So I'm gonna say that Deku knows a thing or two, and he's seen a thing or two about healing jutsu. So yeah. And then, Hashirama basically is like, good job, kid, you healed a spine. That's probably, one of the best things you could do. Only my daughter could do that, but better, He's like, but better, or not my daughter, my granddaughter, that's what he says. But better, what do you mean, but better? He's like, she could have done it, half the time. He's like, okay, alright, buddy, I'm your reincarnation, remember that. He's like, yeah, I know. She was just the best healer there is. He's like, alright, sure, I guess. Basically, Ida's like, so what now? He's like, Well, now your brother doesn't move for about a week, and he should have his legs and mobility back. You know, he's like, wait, so I have to stay on my stomach like this the whole time? Like, yeah, basically. He's like, alright. And he's like, I mean, we could, like, put you on your back if you need. You're like, yeah, I'd rather be on my back just so I can eat and stuff like that. So, you know, Ingenium's put on his back. You know, he's like, thank you, and yada, 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 before, you know, the Deku goes. You know, Shinso leaves, too. And finally, they go back to, They go back to class the next day. And they're like, now it's time for the final exams, you know. Basically, you know, Deku's like, so what are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna just do a test, maybe fight some robots and then be done with it? You know, he's like, nope, you're fighting the teachers. And, you know, as they say that, All Might lands. He's like, I am here. You know, everybody feels this chill run down their spine, except for 2 people, to be exact. And, you know, Nezu was like, if we put those 2 on the same team, I have a feeling that All Might's gonna get his ass kicked. You know? But, like, All Might's like, oh, no, nonsense. I could handle him. I could handle him. You know, Nezu's like, are you sure? Because I was gonna put, like, you know, Midoriya and Bakugo on the same team. But, like, if you say that you can handle Shinso and Deku on the same team, then it's fine. I mean, that's okay. Which, you know, All Might doesn't know what he's about to get into. All Might doesn't realize the heat that he's just put on himself. But yeah, after that, Deku, you know, he's just standing there like, who are we gonna fight? You know, it's basically like, it's just the canon shit, honestly, for the most part, other than like Bakugo being on a team with Kendo, and you know, and they're fighting, who would they be fighting? We'll say that they're fighting, we'll say that, they're fighting Mount Lady, yeah. If you're wondering why, if there was a cut, my mom called me, so yeah, Mount Lady, that's who they're fighting. And, what else? Yeah, so Deku, he's just like, oh, shit. Man, we about to, you know, he walks over to Shinso, he's like, we about to fuck up All Might, you know. Shinso's like, don't take it as a joke, you know, he's still the #1 hero. You know, like, Deku's like, yeah, but, like, come on, you know we could, like, you know. Everybody's realizing how quickly Shinso and Deku have become, like, friends. You know, Kendo is a bit surprised because it took her a while to become friends with Shinso. But, like, Deku's doing this in this short amount of time. You know, she's kind of bummed out. And then, you know, basically, someone else, like, tells Kendo, like, we'll say it's, like, Kaminari. He's like, Deku just has that personality about him that, like, everybody has to be his friends, even the emos, you know. You know, basically he points at Todoroki, he's like, hey, don't look at me. And like don't talk about me like I do this shit. Alright, I didn't choose emo life, it chose me. Like, God, that's so emo. Yeah, but basically, you know, she understands what Kaminari's trying to tell her. After that, though, it's basically Shinso and Deku versus All Might. He has the weights on, and, you know, Deku's like, you really shouldn't have those on. Like, you know, All Might's like, what do you mean? You know, I should need to hold back. You guys are just students, you know. Deku's like, I mean, like, seriously, like, you really don't want to have those on, like, when we start fighting. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. You gonna need every advantage you can get. And, you know, Shinso is like, yeah, it's kind of disrespectful to use weights, you know, goddamn well knowing that him and Deku are both using gravity fields, but, you know, but, what's it called, you know, All Might's like, oh, I don't know, you know, Nezu's like, yeah, All Might, I'm not gonna lie to you, if it was, like, Deku and someone else, or Shinso and someone else, maybe wear the weights, but, yeah, these two, I just have a bad feeling. He's like, and, you know, it's like, alright, I guess, you know, he takes off the weights and stuff like that. You know, Shinso now smirks, and so, you know, Deku gives that shit-eating grin. You know, and now, All Might has to go to the other side, you know, And Deku and Shinso, they walk in, so he's like, so how bad do you want to, destroy him? Like, he's like, I mean, he's the number one hero. Like, should we really go that bad on him? He's like, yeah, but, like, by now he's probably gotten a bit cocky, so, like, we should, like, knock him down a peg or two. So he's like, so how much we talking? He's like, let's say level 2 gravity fields instead of level, 6. He's like, I mean, I feel like that's too much, though. Level 3. Level 3? Level 3. Yeah, nah. So, they knock their gravity fields down to level 3. And they're like, alright, you ready for this? Shinso's like, fucking course I am. They run towards the middle. All Might throws his smash. Deku and Shinso both get into the alleyways to avoid it. Because, why would they just willingly get hit by a smash? So, basically, Deku's like, Deku, like, looks over to Shinso, and Shinso looks over to him, because they're, like, on the other side of the road. Deku points up, he and Shinso realize what he's saying, and so they both run up the walls of the buildings that they're next to and start jumping from, like, the roof to roof, They see All Might down there, and, All Might doesn't know where they are. So, Deku looks over to Shinso, he's like, he puts his hands into, like, a number, he's like, 3, 2, 1, go. And they both jump down. And like before All Might can even do anything, he gets drop kicked from both sides, so he just gets drop kicked, both like his right shoulder and his left shoulder down, so he just falls to his knees, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they just start jumping All Might, like it's bad, man, like they're stomping him out, they're freaking, they're beating the crap out of him, and, All Might just swings his arm around, it sends a shockwave, but basically, like, after that, his arm gets grabbed by a wooden, like, by basically, like, a piece of wood, basically, and it gets pulled down to the ground and it's held down, and then his other arm also gets held down by wood, and his other leg also gets held down by wood, and they're just mollywopping him, like, All Might can't really do too much, so basically, All Might after that, he tries to, like, get out of the woods, but he can feel, like, his quirk, like, losing power quickly, so he's just like, basically, so he's like, oh shit, like, what the hell am I gonna do? And then finally, Deku makes a wooden fist, and we're gonna say that, Shinso covers his arm with Susanoo, because, why not? Because if Itachi can activate Susanoo without the Sharingan on, so can Shinso, alright? So basically, Deku, he pulls back, like, a wood gauntlet fist that he has on. Shinso has, like, a Susanoo fist. They both punch All Might in his face, and, he's slumped. He's asleep, And Deku, I'm pretty sure, I think Deku knows about All Might. Oh, wait, didn't Deku, like, heal All Might's injury? Yeah, so, like, All Might isn't even injured. He just got mollywopped. And then after that, basically Deku and Shinso win by knockout, and everybody's like, holy shit, they knocked out All Might like he was nothing. Like, oh my god, these guys are freaking like the dynamic duo. They're like freaking Batman and Superman, but they're both Superman. But like with Batman's intelligence, it's like, oh my fucking, they're going wild. And, after that, Nezu's like, yeah, like, can we just give them their hero license? And that's what Aizawa says, and Nezu's like, sadly, by law, we cannot. But, we can sure as hell, like, help them grow more as much as we can, I guess. So after that, Shinso and Deku, they go over to, we'll say Shinso and Deku, they go and, what are they gonna do? Yeah, they don't really do nothing. After that, it's everyone else's match. It goes about the same. Bakugo and Kendo, at the end, they work together, and, Kendo slaps away, like, we'll say Mount Lady's foot, and Bakugo just jumps up, howitzer impacts her, and, she's knocked out. So they won that one. After the school day's over, basically someone's waiting outside. They run over and they're like, Izuku, how'd the, match go, He's like, oh, it went good, She basically hugs him. Shinso's like, and you talk about my love life, He's like, oh, yeah, He picks her up and he's like, Shinso, this is my girlfriend, And Shinso's like, your girlfriend? You have a girlfriend? A girl would like you? He's just laughing to himself, Deku's like, I'll have you know that a lot of girls like this smile, but I only have one girl that I like. So, yeah. talk to me when he sees Kendo right there. He looks her dead in the eyes when he says this. Talk to me when you start talking to Kendo. And he walks off, still holding Nejire, which she's like embarrassed and saying like, "Put me down," but Deku refuses. Like Shinso's saying to himself like, "What does that guy know?" He turns around, he just sees an embarrassed Kendo, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill him." Madara laughing his ass off inside of Shinso's mindscape. Hashirama also laughing his ass off. To the point like where Deku's like, "Alright, I can't even hear myself think, man, please." He's like, "Oh, you're fucking dead." He's like, if anything was to get you killed, it's probably what you just did. And yeah, basically after that, Shinso, he's like, he just poofs and then goes away. Which, she's like, and she just blushes more. Which, Shinso's like, "I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna kick his ass, and then I'm gonna fucking beat him into the ground." So after that, they get told about the forest training. They go to the forest, yada, 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 all that stuff. Sam shows Mandalade, and Pixie Bob and all them, the Wild Pussycats in general. So basically, they're like, "Yeah, only issue is be careful. We've had some panther issues." Just, hinting to another what if of mine. That's always fun. Deku, after that, he just goes down the hill. They start, fighting the little golems that they have. Deku basically is like, "Alright, well, what do we do now?" When they're like about to get to the end, they see 3 people. A guy with blonde hair and like blue eyes, like with his arms crossed together. Also, a guy who's like pretty shy, hiding his face. A girl that Deku immediately recognizes. He's like, "Nejire, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, the big 3 has been tasked with training you guys, so we're about to go kick you guys' asses." So, Miro was like, "I call first." He runs over, and, he starts mollywopping most of the class. And then, like, right when he gets to, like, Deku's like, "Alright, so, this ability seems familiar." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, he flips back to Shinso. He's like, "Shinso, your reincarnation knew most about this type of ability, so you take care of it." He's like, "Alright." So right as Mirio comes for, Shinso, Shinso dodges it and kind of, like, puts his arm in the way. Like, and then after a while, Mirio goes through his arm, and then Shinso just kicks back and Mirio gets hit. Because Mirio had to get out of permeation for a second to try to hit Shinso from the back. But, wait, that sounds wrong. God fucking damn it. Not like that. God, I wanna end my life now. Alright, so Shinso kicked Mirio away from behind him. After that, Tamaki rushed at, Izuku, so did Nejire. Nejire, of course, has one for all, like I said last time. And, she's powered up to, we'll say, 50%, because why not? She powered up to 50%. She rushes at, Deku. Deku, dodges it, counters her. Tamaki comes. He tries to slap Deku with, like, a tentacle. Deku, catches it. He's like, "Wow, this is a really interesting ability. I wonder how it works." Tamaki's embarrassed by all the attention that he's getting. After that, Nejire comes up from behind Deku. She shoots, like, I'm pretty sure it's, like, a light blast or something. I still don't know what her quirk is. It's basically like her quirk comes in percentages, just like One for All. That's why I thought that it would be good for Nejire to get it. But yeah, she's like, she shoots like a blast basically at Deku. Deku dodges it, but Tamaki's in the way. Basically Tamaki gets hit by it. And she's like, "Oh, sorry." And he's like, "It's fine," because he covered himself like a shell before that happened. So now, Deku's basically, fighting them both off. Mirio, he gets hit by Shinso, and now Shinso, like, punches him as many times as he can before Mirio, like, disappears. But Mirio's, like, ability can kind of get annoying to Shinso, so he's like, so what's your name? He's like, my name's Mirio Togata. Togata. Alright, there you go. Mirio Togata. I think I butchered that. But, basically, Shinso's like, now you just got in my genjutsu. Shinso, basically Mirio's like, what? He's like, stop. Mirio stops. He just gets thrown out of the ground. Which actually, no, because if he was permeating, he couldn't hear Shinso. So yeah, he just stops where he is. Shinso's like, go and fight your friends. And then Mirio runs over to Nedre, and Nedre's like, huh? And then she just gets punched in the face. And Deku's like, alright, what the fuck just happened? Shinso's like genjutsu, So now Mirio's fighting the big three, which we'll say that Nedre, after throwing a 60% smash, pushing her limits a little bit, knocks out Mirio. And, Tamaki and now Nedre are there. Basically, they're like, alright, so, like, I'm guessing that you weren't supposed to fight us this much, so can we just go now? Like, Nedre looks over to Tamaki, what do you think? Tamaki's just like, I want to go home. And she's like, alright, you guys win this round. So after a while, we'll say that everybody in Class 1A wakes up after getting knocked out by Mirio. Shinso, we'll say Shinso actually is cooking, Deku's just sitting there watching. They're like, what are you cooking? Shinso's like, I'm cooking, he says something traditional, like a traditional Uchiha meal. And they're like, huh. That seems very nutritious, but also very, worrying of getting bland. He's like, no, my cooking's good, alright? I'm a very picky eater. But, we need all the nutrition we can get, nutrients, vitamins, all that stuff, And Deku's like, yeah, Shinso, you know what? You're a good cook, but, like, you need to chill out with the nutrients and stuff. Sometimes, you can chill out. Like, Shinso's like, no. Yeah, you can't be at your peak unless, you eat well. And Bakugo starts cooking too, which surprises most people. Because they, Kendo was surprised that Shinso could cook, but everyone else was surprised that Bakugo could cook. So, they finish cooking, they eat their meals, Nedre and Mirio and all them, they also eat with them. They all explain their quirks to each other. Nedre explains her quirk and how, it's mostly used in percentages. Deku explains his quirk, even though he's met most of the big three, I think. I think he's met the big three. I said that. Or if he hasn't, then he just explains it to the big three. Shinso also explains very little, but enough about his quirk. Everybody's ready to train, and then they're like, alright. They do their training for a little while, and then they're like, alright, so let's get to the hot springs. But, I must think about this for a second. How am I going to do this? Alright. This is the main reason I kept Mineta in the class, so I need to find a way to make this work. So basically, Shinso and Deku, they go into the bathhouse first. Everyone else follows behind them. Girls going to their side, boys going to their side. You know how that goes. And now... sorry, I'm stretching. And now Mineta's like, this wall blocks me away from heaven. Mirio and Tamaki are there because, the guys all just shared the hot springs. So, Mirio and Tamaki are there, and Mirio's like, you shouldn't do that, Tamaki's like, yeah, that's not a good idea. So basically, Deku and Shinso both have, like, some murderous intent behind them. But, like, Deku's holding his back while Shinso doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, don't go in there. Mineta's weighing his options, death or a slice of life. Death or life itself. What does he choose? He's like, fine then. I've chosen death. And, he goes to climb the wall. Koda stops him just like in canon. But, Shinso was already on his way to stop him, and also Koda falls. So, Shinso basically grabs Koda, and also Deku jumped up to try to grab Koda, but, they both jump up, Basically, Shinso looks unaffected, Deku, is slightly blushing, and then they see their eyes lock with certain people. After that, Shinso lands, his face is, red. Well, just Izuku has a nosebleed, I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause you know whose eyes locked into whose eyes, and you basically know. So Shinso puts on a towel. He's like, I'm done. And, he walks out. After that, everyone gets out and they find Shinso banging his head against the tree, like forget. A few people are worried. Deku walks over. He's like, oh, so you got a little bit, yeah, I see you. Shinso's like, shut up. Right? He's like, just shut up, right now, or else I'm going to kill you. He's like, all right, I get it, fine. You win this. So the girls are a bit, embarrassed to be, is that Kendall, she walks over, she's like, I saw you grab the kid, so I know it wasn't your fault, Basically, Shinso's like, yeah, my apologies, yeah. They talk it out, Basically, Madara's like, oh my god, won't you just fucking ask her out? Fuck, bro. And Shinso's like, I don't like her like that. And, Madara's like, I'm literally in your fucking head, don't lie to me, alright? He's like, come on, just what did the Uchiha reincarnate into a pussy? Come on, just fucking do it. He's like, I don't like her like that. He's like, really? Then why was your face not red to any of them other than her? Basically, Shinso has no comment. So he's just like, bro, just do it. Just ask. He's like, trust me, alright? The Uchiha gene runs strong within you. You can get any lady you want. So just ask. He's like, oh, I don't wanna, man. He's like, he's nervous. Madara just tells him, alright, you think I wasn't nervous? Alright? You think I wasn't nervous fighting against Hashirama? You think I wasn't nervous starting a war against everybody? And, basically, Shinso's like, alright, then what did you do? He's like, alright. He's like, I stomped my feet, I gripped my teeth, and then I fucking did it. Alright? And then Shinso's like, alright, he stomps his feet a little bit, gets him into the ground, he grits his teeth, he's like, Kendo. And then, a few people are watching this, Nedre, Deku, and, basically all the males of Class 1A, except for, Mineta, because Mineta got beat into the ground, are watching this. So are the girls, actually. They're all watching this. He's like, I was wondering if maybe you wanted to, go out sometimes, he mumbles something. She's like, what? He just says, fuck it, just, you want to go out? Kendo caught off guard, but she's like, sure. I mean, I was waiting for you to ask for a while now. I was hoping you would. Shinso's like, really? Basically right at that moment, everyone pops out like, shit. Shinso's like, wait, what the fuck? They all hop out. They're like, we're so proud of you. They're crying like, we thought you were gonna be a sad little emo, but you have a girlfriend. Oh my god. They're freaking all just hugging Shinso, and Shinso's like, get off of me now. Kendo's laughing to herself. The girls are like, they're talking to Kendo, while the guys are freaking like, bro, you did it. They're all proud of him. Shinso's like, I'm going to murder you all. I swear. He's like, no, you won't, man. You love us too much. Almost as much as you love Kendo. Everybody's laughing to themselves. And Shinso's like, death to you all. So his eyes go red. Everybody's like, alright, yeah, actually, Deku's like, alright, yeah, actually, we should probably run. So, he's the first one to dip. So is everybody else, Kirishima, he's like, bro, this won't be manly. He's like, shut the fuck up. So now they're getting chased around. And then finally, it's the little scary shits to where, Class 1B showed up and they're doing the little scare things. Now, we will say that, yeah, everybody goes into the pairs. Since Deku was originally alone in canon, Deku basically goes with, Nejire, just like, he should, what's they called, Shinso goes with Kendo, and, who would be alone? I don't know who would be alone right now. Just freaking, nobody would really be alone, because I don't actually understand, why was Deku alone? Because there's even 20 people in the class. So, like, who the fuck, like, how was he alone? Like, unless someone was someone else, like, doing a scare or something? I don't know. But either way, there's technically 25, so even if, like, one person doing something, that's still an even number. So everyone has a partner. They're all doing the scare songs. After that, basically, Nejire was the only one getting scared, along with Kendo. Well, Shinso and Deku were like, this really isn't that scary, but okay. And now, for the most fun part, Deku walks over to Kota. Kota did try to go for the nut punch, not gonna lie, but, Deku caught it, because, hashirama. Deku walks over to Kota, they're sitting down. This is, like, after everything's happened. So, they're talking. Kota's like, yeah, I'll eat some food later, But Deku's like, I brought this for you, It's basically some of the food. Kota says thank you, because, begrudgingly, because he has manners, we'll say. He's like, either way, I'll see you later, kid. He walks off, and then after that, he sees the blue flames and realizes, oh shit, he feels the chakra signature coming towards Kota. So he immediately rushes over there. Muscular. It's muscular. Everyone knows it's fucking muscular. He goes for the punch on Kota, and Kota freaking flinches, his eyes, closes them, and, he doesn't feel anything. And, he looks up, and he sees that, Deku is holding back the fist with, like, one arm, while Kota's, like, right there. He's like, listen, you gotta run now. Kota's like, but, he's like, just go, Kota tries to run, but, he's kind of, like, frozen in fear. So Deku's like, damn it, he kicks Muscular back, and Muscular is like, oh, I remember you from the sports festival. Either way, I'm gonna take care of you and then take care of that kid. Deku's like, yeah, I'd like to see you try. So they have a fight, they're throwing good hands, but then, like, Deku just ties him up in wood. He's like, Kota did tell him, like, what happened, and, Deku does know about the water hose heroes and what happened to them. So he's like, wood style, wood entanglement prison jutsu. So, basically, Muscular is probably in the best hold that he could ever be in. Like, the best, like, I forget what it was. Prison, yeah. He's in the best kind of prison that he could really be in, because it holds back his quirk. And Muscular is, like, being held back by, Izuku's chakra wood, I guess. That sounds nasty. But, yeah. After that, Deku takes Kota, he runs over, gives him to, Aizawa. He did say that he was after Bakugo, so he told them that they're after Bakugo and also Shinso, because, it would make sense for them to also be after Shinso. So, they go after, he goes out and, they send out a message like, hey, Bakugo, Shinso, they're after you two. Shinso, being, who he is, he's like, I'm not going back. He's like, he sees Bakugo, so he just stands there with Bakugo, because Bakugo's not planning on going back. So now they're just fighting these guys off, and I'm gonna say they brought, like, more, no moves and stuff like that, just because, you know how strong, what's it called? Freaking, they know how strong Shinso and Deku is, so they brought, like, 20 more no moves instead of just the one. So, Shinso's fighting them off, and then after that, Deku shows up, and they're fighting off the other no moves. But then one gets past him, and it's rushing towards Kendo. So, Shinso, of course, has to run in there. He pushes, Kendo out of the way, and he gets hit by the no move at, like, full strength. So, he hits the tree, and he's knocked out. So, like, it grabs Shinso, and then grabs Bakugo, because Bakugo was slumped a while ago. And it just dips out of there. Everybody's like, Deku's like, no, you know, but they have no choice, really. You know, after that, all the villains are gone, and Kendo's crying to herself, you know, like, damn it, I'm the reason why he's gone, yada, yada, yada. I can't believe it, you know. Deku feels inadequate because he wasn't able to get Shinso in time, just because he didn't turn off his gravity fields. So he feels like, you know, it's kind of his fault that Shinso got taken and Bakugo. But, you know, what's it called, Momo does tell them, like, yeah, we have a tracker on the Nomu, yada, yada, yada. Deku's like, yeah, I also have, you know, I always have, like, me and Shinso have, like, basically a tracker on each other, kind of, but not really. It's kind of like the Haraishin feel, but instead of, like, being able to teleport to each other, they just know where each other are. And basically, this is just so, like, you know, just so that, if one of them gets taken, like what happened, they know where each other are. So, you know, they're basically like, alright, then we should go save them, alright? And this is where I'm going to end it off. Right? Yeah, you thought that I was going to be like, yeah, all for one fight immediately. Nah. So either way, I'll tell you guys later, alright? Peace.